You're about to meet Josh Zuchowski and Reese Branzell, two talented young swimmers from Florida. There is perhaps no finer illustration of sportsmanship than the camaraderie these two competitors share. Rivals in the pool, friends forever. That's truly what sportsmanship is all about. In Florida, the land of sand and sunshine, some ride the waves, and others make their own.
Let's go, Josh!
10-year-old Josh Zuchowski is one of the top young swimmers in the country.
I like it because it's a sport that you can swim as a team and it's individual.
When he was just 8, he finaled in 6 out of 7 events at the Junior Olympics.
At that point, he was the fastest 8-year-old in the history of the sport in South Florida.
And no one is more impressed with his talent than the coach of his swim team, the Jupiter Dragons.
He is a talented swimmer. However, it's not just talent. He's a hard worker, very focused swimmer.
Practicing 6 and sometimes 7 days a week, he's as present in the backyard pool as the chlorine.
Because hard work always beats talent any day.
Still, as good as Josh is, there is one swimmer he's always looked up to.
And I would be like, wow, I want to be like him when I get older.
Let's go, Reese!
Reese Branzell is a year older than Josh. And like Josh, he's been breaking long-standing records.
At 8, he was doing the Junior Olympics, so he's swimming against 10-year-olds.
When Josh isn't in the pool, he likes to be on the side of it, watching Reese.
When my mom said that there was this little kid named Josh Zuchowski, he looks up to you like he's you're his hero almost, and so I'm surprised that anybody would look up to me.
But by the spring of 2013, instead of just looking up to Reese, he was standing next to him on the starting blocks. Thus began a very special rivalry.
They would race against each other, and it was good. Reese would win, Josh would win. It was very competitive.
Their competitive level with the two of them, if they just drove each other.
Then, with the season winding down, Josh showed up for one of the biggest swim meets of the year. But someone was missing. That someone was Reese.
He randomly started complaining one day of his hip hurting, and he started limping.
He had this fever that just would not break.
Reese had been admitted to the hospital, and he'd be there for the better part of the next 5 weeks. The diagnosis? Something called osteomyelitis, an infection of the hip. Doctors tried one antibiotic after another, and nothing seemed to work.
He looked at me and he said, "Dad, am I gonna die?" And you don't expect that coming from a 9-year-old, 10-year-old kid. And it like crushed me.
Then something happened to lift his spirits. Though Reese wasn't on the starting block, he was on Josh's mind.
How would you feel if you were in the hospital? Would you feel bad or would you feel good?
So Josh did something few 9-year-olds would ever even think of. He dedicated his next race to Reese and went out and won yet another first-place trophy. Then, a few hours later, Reese got a phone call in his hospital room that someone had dropped off a trophy at his house.
Reese, I am so sorry that you have not been feeling well.
With the trophy was a get well card, signed by Josh. Months later, Reese still has it.
I'd rather get second with you at the meet than win with you absent. I won this trophy for you today. I hope to see you back in the pool. Your friend, Josh.
As a grown man on the phone, I was, choked up, tears in my eyes. I was speechless for a little while. It was unbelievable.
Reese has recovered, and the rivalry has resumed.
That was awesome, honey.
But it has far more meaning than it ever had before.
That was great.
The fact that Josh thought of my son before he thought of himself meant a lot.
It served as an example of that swimming is not everything. Life is bigger than swimming.
I probably learn more from Josh every day than I teach him, and I couldn't be more proud.
One young boy showing that kids can be as deceiving as a swimming pool. You never know how deep they really are.
Gives you hope that there is still hope.
We are so happy to be joined by the two individuals you see on stage. First, making the trip from South Florida to present the Musial Award to Josh, welcome Reese Branzell. With Reese is one of our country's best swimmers. At the 2012 Olympics in London, she won 3 gold medals, plus a silver and a bronze. In all, she is a 6-time Olympic medalist. Please welcome Allison Schmidt. Allison is here on behalf of USA Swimming, which graciously accepted our invitation to have one of its top athletes in Josh's award presentation. So let's join Allison and Reese in celebrating a great young swimmer and a very good sport. From Jupiter, Florida, Josh Zuchowski. Now, I got to tell you, not too many 9 or 10-year-olds that I know would come up with an idea like this. How did it come into your mind?
My parents have taught me to be a good sport, and I thought, how would I feel if I was in the hospital? So I felt bad, so I gave it to him.
Yeah, you did. And did you didn't have any idea you'd be getting some attention for this, did you?
No, I wasn't expecting any of this.
Josh, thank you very much. Thank you, Reese. Thank you, Allison. Thank you very much for being here. Congratulations. We've got a lot more to come. The Baseball Hall of Famer in the theater that will come to the stage to receive the pinnacle honor bestowed at the Musial Awards.